Hi everyone, this is Miss Miharu. Today in this commando guide we're going to go over commando's normals and strings. So I'm going to try to do this quickly because PS4 only records 15 minutes at a time and he has a lot of useful normals and strings. So I have it standing 1, 8 frame combo starter with OK range. It's neutral on block. It's a high and will whiff on a lot of crouch blocking opponents like Scorpion and most females. It's also great anti-air, which I will go over another time. Then you have 1-1, -2 on block. Second hit is a mid, but it's not true mid because it whiffs on a lot of crouch blocking opponents. It's decent for staggers as long as you don't get it low profile. Then you have 1-1-2. This is only -1 on block, which is important. This is your go-to punisher unless you block something like a slide, which puts them really low to the ground. Smokes teleport as well. It has a gap between 1-1 and a 2. I'll show you. Oops. There we go. So they can sort of armor or get out of your pressure, but you can use that to your advantage, and I'll show you how in another episode. Another fun thing is the the 2 that hit is 7% damage. And it's not super relevant, but it's relevant if they start trying to armor the gap because they'll eat the last hit, which is chunky damage. Then we have your standing 2. This is a 13 frame combo starter. It's +2 on block, so in theory you can stagger it really well, but in practice it's kind of impractical because it gets low profile about a lot of things. So you can use it at times, but it's not the best. Then you have 2 forward 4. This is 0 on block with enormous pushback, like you can see. But this range is still good for Kano because you can hit with your down 4. You can do a tick, like sort of a tick gripe setup, or go for the forward 4 or whatever. So it's kind of good. It's a splat knockdown. So if I put you on tech roll, you can see the tech roll is really delayed. You can use it for corpse hop setups in the corner. Dash, and you sort of end up behind them. If they wake up, they go the wrong way and stuff like that. It's not super useful, but it's something you can use. It was a lot more useful before MKXL because it was made sort of obsolete by this string, 2-2. This has enormous range. Just look at that range. And it's -1 on block. You notice it's the same 1-1-2 and 2-2 has the same ender. It's the same punch. So it's also -1 on block and leaves you in a good range, like over here. Commando Kano doesn't really care about being minus, so being -1 here is really good. It's also like, it's a great pressure tool, which I'll go over in another section, and it's a great combo filler because it does 12% damage. So it's your most damaging combo starter, but it's 13 frames, so you're not going to use it too often. Then you have standing 3. This is a 9 frame mid. It's -7 on block, has shit range, like look at that knee. It's mostly used in juggles and grounding combos, and it's pretty good for punishing low profiling moves since it's a mid. So like if I block a slide, it might be my best option. Like what's it called? Aaron Black's slide is really annoying to punish for 1-1-2. Then we have 3-2. This is -1 on block, so it's a decent stagger. And it can be hit confirmed to a full combo either with EX ball or that grab, which I'll show you in a sec. Unlike Cybernetic and Cutthroat, this doesn't juggle. It leaves you +15, but it doesn't juggle. It's kind of weird. I think it's because this has a string, like an ender attached to it, that ender. But it's something to keep in mind. So 3-2, 1+3 is this. It's a pretty good ender. or like a meterless punish, switches sides and leaves you in a good Oki position. And you can meter burn this for a full combo. It's minus 13 on block, so you don't want to throw it out unless you're making like a really hard read, doing like something like 3-2 staggered into 3-2 grab to like make them assume that you're going to stop the string, but it's really risky. Yeah, then we have the standing 4. It's a 15 frame high, and it has very little purpose, but you can use them in some really niche combos, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's plus 2 on block though, but it leaves you outside of range for most of your stuff, so it's not really worth it. It's, if I recall correctly, like the only string or normal that 100% jails into that though, into the EX knives. So that's something, I guess. Okay, back 1, 9 frame mid. This is your go-to combo starter for like low profiling moves or moves that put them just outside the range of 112. Because like from here, the back 1 has really good range, but the 112 doesn't. So this has a lot more range. It's minus 8 on block, but the recovery is pretty good. So it's not like death if you just do the back 1. But it doesn't really matter because you should always be cancel this into a tick throw, or like do it as a string. This is an amazing anti-air as well, and it can get low profiled by some moves like Johnny's down 4 and stuff like that. This is also central to his Oki game, which I'll go over later. Then you have back 1-3. This is minus 2 on block. You can sort of stagger it. It's a pretty good punish string, does a little less damage than 112 and is 1 frame slower, but it's good nonetheless. Then you have back 1, 3, 1+3. This is the same as 3-2, 1+3. It's only minus 12 on block according to in-game frame data, so it's 1 frame less than 3-2 grab, but it's still death on block. You can meter burn as well, so it's decent. Then you have back 3. This is your low combo starter. It's 14 frames, has decent range, minus 3 on block, but you're always going to use it with back 1-3. This is a really good tool. This is plus 1 on block, and you can hit confirm it into a full combo in the corner, or like into choke or EX ball and mid screen for a full combo. And if you're really uncertain about your hit confirms, you can always go for choke, which is safe. Yeah, and then you have back 1-3-2. This is the confirming part in the corner. This launches. You can't special cancel this, but in the corner, oops, you get a launch, which you can get decent damage off of. It's minus 8 on block, so it will be punished by Reptile Slide, but it won't be punished by like the dash. Oh right, it will be punished by the dash because that's 8 frames and it comes out in 7. But there's a lot of stuff where it's safe, and you can usually get like a backdash in to get out safely. Yeah, I think that's it for that one. Then we have forward 3. This is a 13 frame mid, has shit range, it's pretty slow, minus 5 on block, pretty bad. Forward 3-3, the second hit is a low, and this is a tick throw. The tricky thing is, if they don't block the low and you do the throw, you will eat a full combo punish and stuff like that. So it's not the best, but it can be used in some setups, and I'll show those later. Then we have forward 4. This is an 11 frame lunging mid. I'm not even sure it low crushes, to be honest, but it's sort of it's pretty fast, and it's good for punishing stuff that's like really out of range for your back one. And it's special cancelable. It's -5 on block, but you can special cancel it in choke. So you can do sort of like a semi mix-up, just forward 4 into a command grab if they're expecting to choke, or if they're slipping up and letting go of block, they'll eat the choke. So it's pretty decent. Okay, so this is the part 2 of Commando Kano's normals and strengths. Now we're going to go into the pokes and his jump attacks. So that we have, well, this is not really a poke, but we have his sweep. It's a 16 frame sweep, -6 on block, and good range. Low profile some stuff, but it's pretty useless. It's pretty useless. Down 1. Doesn't have very good range. 9 frames, -7 on block, so it's safe-ish, and +25 on hit, which is nice. But the only real use is to cancel into command grab, because it ticks. If I can actually do the tick, and you can sort of like create a poor man's mix-up with going for choke instead, or just a parry to try to catch like counter poke or something. It's not super good, but it's something. I prefer using this for tick throws than his other pokes, because it's a mid, so you run less risk of someone messing up and just getting hit by the low, in which case you eat a full combo. Then you have down 2, 8 frame uppercut, amazing horizontal hitbox. Not the best for cross-ups, but it's an amazing anti-air. Like, you have more damaging stuff, but it's super consistent. Then you have down 3, -3 on block, 7 frame, it's a low, and +13 on hit. This is your go-to poke in like close quarters, because it's your safest option. Also ticks. And then you have your amazing down 4. This has really good range. It's -8 on block, so it's not safe, but you're not usually gonna get punished for it. So, and +17 on hit. So on hit you can go for like forward 4 or run in pressure or whatever. It also takes into your command grabs. Oops. And it low profiles a lot of attacks, including a lot of projectiles. So I'll go with that in another episode. But you can sort of low profile the stuff by down 4ing from full screen, like Slasher Jason's mid knife. Just down 4 that shit. Then we have jump in 1, 6 frames. It's decent. Like, the problem isn't the actual jump attack, but Kano's floaty jump, his jump arc. But it's pretty good. I would say it's your go-to jump in attack. Then you have jump in 2. This is 7 frames. This, you can make this hit a bit deeper, so it's slightly better for cross-ups. I'm not really used to using it. I've sort of like adapted and learned to use the jump in 1 for cross-ups, but generally jump in 2 is better, so I should probably learn to use that. Then we have jump in 3. This is 10 frame startup. This is generally outdone by his jump in 4, but it has some uses, and it ticks into your command grab. Jump in 4 has this weird axe kick animation, so it sort of hits behind his head like that. Oops. I want to do... Anyways, it's kind of hard to anti-air. So Commando Kano has this sort of... not really a mix-up game, but when he jumps, he is in a better position than Cyber and Cutthroat, because he gets something from his jump kicks. He can go for the tick throw, and you can actually hit confirm into airball. It's not huge damage, but it's something. So it's harder to anti-air, and he can also like go for the airball directly and stuff like that. Yeah, then we have your neutral jump punch. 9 frame startup. Oops. You can use it as an instant neutral jump punch and hit people who are standing up. Pretty good on a read. If you do it deep, you're plus. Your jump kick the same. There's some setups in the corner where you do something like this, dash forward, and then you're sort of in the range. You need to take a step forward and then go for the command grab or just down 4 or whatever. It's not bad. But yeah, that's it for his normals. Next time I'm going to go over his special moves, so stay tuned. Thanks.